Greetings. This is Astrologer Pam Younghans, and here is my forecast for the week of June 12th to 18th, 2023. We are now in the last quarter phase of the current lunar cycle, which began with the new moon on May 19th. Over the next 7 days, in addition to working with other planetary events, we are invited to assess our progress over the past 3 weeks. Following our intuition is especially important as we move through this completion phase of the lunar cycle, as it will guide us regarding what needs to be done to wrap up projects or issues we've been working on. Inner knowing will also inform us about what needs to be cleared and released so that we are prepared for the new beginning that lies ahead. This month's new moon occurs on Saturday, June 17th at 9:36 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, when the Sun and Moon align at 26 degrees 43 minutes of Gemini. A new moon in the sign of the Twins would normally inspire us to use our intellect and reasoning abilities to set goals for the new lunar cycle. However, the Sun and Moon are closely square mystical Neptune at the time of the lunation, conveying an entirely different message. Neptune's influence is spiritual and creative, calling for us to rely on our intuitive awareness instead of our irrational minds. It is also motivated by the heart rather than the intellect, which is why this Gemini new moon could feel confusing if we attempt to rely primarily on our minds to chart a new course. It may be hard to focus or concentrate on practical concerns as the new lunar cycle begins. Daydreams and night dreams may seem more real than waking life. The challenge will be not to get lost in the imagination or the escapist tendencies of Neptune, but also to allow ourselves the time to disappear from reality for periods, with the intention of bringing insights and visions forward from the inner realms. Next Saturday's new moon will be tightly conjunct quasar 3C147, which is at 27 degrees of Gemini, and exactly opposite the galactic center, which is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. With this quasar activated, a tremendous amount of new information is available for download, and many will feel a strong desire to share what is received. The guidance here is not only to receive the information, but to channel it through the heart before allowing it to be expressed by the voice or in any written form. The galactic center activates a clearing process before the download of information may begin. Once we commit to allowing this clearing process to occur, old limiting patterns, ideas, and beliefs, and self-definitions are dismantled. This allows us to both receive and transmit clear insights and information without it being contaminated by outdated filters. In sharp contrast to the mystical overtones of the new moon, reality-based Saturn's influence is very strong this week. The ringed planet is moving very slowly now as it prepares to station retrograde on Saturday, June 17th at 7 degrees 12 minutes of Pisces. Saturn always provides a reality check of sorts when we are asked to assess whether or not current conditions are working for us on a practical level. Where we each feel this influence most strongly depends on our natal astrology chart, both the house location of 7 degrees Pisces and whether we have planets or points at a sensitive location between 3 and 11 degrees of the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Saturn will be moving backward in Pisces for over 4 months until it stations direct on November 4th. During this period, forward progress in various areas, especially in careers, business, or the pursuit of other outer ambitions, may seem to slow or be stalled. If delays occur, it is an opportunity for us to develop more efficient and effective methods that may be implemented once Saturn goes direct. Postponements could also be a sign that there are other issues that must be addressed, other unfinished business to complete, before we can successfully focus all our attention on current goals. It may be helpful to remember that Saturn is Father Time, and that seeming setbacks are ultimately working in our favor, that they will enable us to be in the right place at the right time, farther down the road. Here are this week's most important planetary aspects with my brief interpretations. There are no major aspects exact on Monday. On Tuesday, Venus is quincunx Saturn and semisquare the Sun. Relationships, values, and finances are in the spotlight today. A reality check in these areas may reveal ways in which our sense of well-being is overly dependent on external validation. Some may exhibit impatience when listening to others based on their own need to receive attention. Also on Tuesday, Mercury is semisquare Chiron. Attempts to communicate may not go smoothly today, since people are feeling a bit insecure about sharing their ideas or perspectives. There are no major aspects exact on Wednesday. On Thursday, Mercury is square Saturn. This aspect can indicate a mental block, a disruption in communications, or delays in travel plans. The mind tends to be pessimistic and critical, making it harder to trust their intuition. On Friday, the Sun is sextile Eris. The need to act independently is strong, and there is a tendency to speak or act impulsively. On Saturday, Mercury is sextile Venus. Conversations may flow more easily with this aspect in effect. It is also helpful in creative projects. Saturday is the day that Saturn stations retrograde. The ringed planet comes to a standstill at 10:27 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It will be retrograde until November 4th. And the new lunar cycle begins with the new moon at 9:36 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. On Sunday, the Sun is square Neptune. Events may not go as planned today, and it can be harder to focus or concentrate. Disillusionment is possible if we are too dependent on life making sense to our rational minds. If your birthday is this week, a lack of clear direction this year is designed to help you strengthen important spiritual qualities: surrender, non-attachment, faith, trust, and a reliance on your intuition and higher guidance. It may be helpful to remind yourself that faith and certainty do not sit at the same table. There is little need for faith if there is certainty, and there is little need for certainty if you have faith. At the same time, there are lessons this year in not falling into patterns of self-sacrifice or self-criticism, but to consider your innate value and personal needs as equal to that of others. This is Astrologer Pam Younghans wishing you an insightful week. Thank you for being with me on this journey.
We hope that you have enjoyed this article. For over 30 years, we at Inner Self have sought to encourage new attitudes and new possibilities. For more inspiration, visit us at innerself.com. Thank you. Visit the Inner Self Market for new attitudes and new possibilities. You'll find inspiring books, wonderful music CDs, audiobooks, card decks, candles, jewelry, gifts, all kinds of wonderful things. Visit us at market.innerself.com.